My Energy Ecliptic. Love's Circle Persona. Self-love, best love, world love. You knows my honor. Greetings, that be your host, JaMes Peter Bastien. In peace, prosperity, power. It's my honor to share my affirmation, visualization, and unisons manifestation in all satisfactions. The mind, body, and soul is to grow in all facets. Presented in procreation, this is MB9T Podcast Show. May you be at peace in whatever the action is proclaiming. Ascending the greatest of all satisfaction, like your goals a bullseye, your actions the dart. Believe in you no matter the ending or the start. For your life, such precious life, must you claim it. Today episode, leg. Leg meaning learn, earn, give. The process of the method to my understanding of growth, my method and understanding to the oath that I take on a daily basis in my life. I surely came up with this topic today. If I can just go back maybe a couple of weeks or so that I've been going, I won't say going through, but I've been living through in this lifetime, because I feel like when you keep yourself in that moment of going through something, you don't have control over that going through. So I'm living, and I live through life, and I do my best to control my energy in this lifetime, with the understanding that what comes by people, placing, and things are the uncontrollable factors of life. So within that metric, I do my best to learn from whatever comes with me through this lifetime, and with that learning, I feel like it puts me in a great position to earn from learning, whether it's the financial earning, whether it's the earning trust, respect, so many different formats of earning, and pretty much what you earn, you can give back. So honestly, for me, this acronym is from a book called No Excuses, and I give that respect so wholeheartedly to Brian Tracy with that book, No Excuses, because leg was just a terminology to say, to to speak about someone's leg or so on and so forth. But that book definitely transitioned me to understand, keep having a leg up on life. You know what I'm saying? I got a leg up on life from the aspect of what I learn from, I can earn from it, and what I can earn from, I can give back. So it's like the beautiful circle of life, you can call it, the cycle of life, you can call it, in that spectrum. Each one teach one, practically, what that learn, earn, give goes to from that perspective. Um, so as much as it's titled learn, earn, give, I'm not defining to decode learning, earning, and giving. It's more so a mantra, right, that I'm speaking on. And like I said, the cycle of when we understand learning, right, in order for you to be beneficial to society, to yourself, you must be able to learn, right? Again, nobody's born, nobody born perfected through with the ability to start their craft from birth, right? It takes each one teach one, whether it's the father, whether it's the society, the civilization that's raising that child, so on and so forth, that teach them such trade, right? Or through time, as that child become a man or a woman, do they learn such, right? So the mantra that I feel like that represent is a mantra of self respect. You know what I'm saying? The idealization of being holding yourself accountable to what you get in this life, what you earn in this life. You know what I'm saying? What you're able to provide in this life. Um, and for me, that's so strong. It's such a strong view for me, from the idealization of if anyone can have that viewership, because I was raised and bred out this lifestyle. You know what I'm saying? Not really. cultivating a, not really living a life that was cultivated where somebody else was thinking for me. Learn, earn, give has given me the ability to have the accountability that I need in my life, on my daily approach in life, from the perspective of like, if you're born or raised like how I was raised naturally, and this was me back in middle school and so on and so forth, where the mindset was confused to why my life was as right, because I'm either judging the white picket fence family perspective that the TV show us, or different people may speak on about what their mom and dad do, or don't do, so whatever it may be, rather than me knowing of myself in my teenage years, in my middle school years. It was a lot about me judging myself upon comparing, contrasting on the outer, like other people's life, and that is one of the biggest issues that we all have in our society, right? Some of us have the pleasure of having people earlier in our life galvanizing us to believe in ourselves, galvanizing us to have self care, self respect, self love. But for majority of us, even when we do have the people in our life, it's just how society raises us. Because even some parents are still outsiders within their own life, meaning like the job they have, the friends they have, the people that they hang around with. A lot of it is outside decision or choices being made for them, more than this intuitive path of like me living out my righteous way. And practically, even with that conversation, living your righteous way, um, it's a short minimum percentage of us as humans are doing that, because again, majority of us are followers. We're followers to what is said to be. I'm sorry, we're followers to what a success is said to be, to what failure is said to be, to what happiness is. All that is cultivated from a societal civilization training amongst what is or what's not, right? So how much can somebody actually compel themselves to have their viewership or have their ideas aligned to exactly what the inner world says, not of what the outer world is, advising. You know what I mean? So with me, going back to like I was saying with my upbringing, in that fact of where I I had more of that circumstance to where I wouldn't say it was all on me. I was just in a way mentally, spiritually, physically a lonely child, right? On the aspect of like uh, the birth givers, my birth parents didn't take that accountability. You know what I'm saying? So the richness of my spirit, I truly feel, is only compelled to this higher form because of my adolescence or my toddler, whatever, my childhood, where it was an abandonment, right? The abandonment for me was the strength to superiorize. Now, I must superiorize. So the abandonment that I had, whether the lack of parenting, what it did for me is it strengthened superiorize, superiorize. God, Lord, I'm dying with this fucking word. It strengthened, it strengthened my intuition. It strengthened my spiritual understanding of self. You know what I mean? Because the frustration or lack thereof of somebody telling me this is the way life is, or this is how you're gonna do it under my rules and all that, that was that's foreign to me. You know what I'm saying? Because I didn't have nobody to do that. So the first person that was my parent was my spirit. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's not necessarily something where I'm talking to you crazy and saying that, but learning scarcity from myself, learning fear from myself, right, and learning that it's not real. It was the product of my imagination when I was, baby, pretty much infant, and and still remembering that memory, from an infant stage, really, where I recall the beginning days with my spirit. You know what I mean? And from that, from how, just a quick story, how for me, it was a circumstance where I'm in a country of IET, and there's third world country, so like practically no lights and stuff like that. We're in the country, and pretty much it's dark. And I'm guessing at that time I could express I was a child, a newborn, so on and so forth. And we're in the country, and I guess I can't tell you if I just got up. I can't tell you if I was sleeping earlier, but anyways, it had to be like during the night or early mornings of the night of the prior night. And pretty much it's, again, we're in the country. There's no windows, anything like that. So for me, laying down in an infant stage and all the imagination of what was around me were like monsters. You know what I'm saying? The palm trees waving side to side, whether it was a noise in the trees, so many different variation of things was scaring the shit out of me. And I just remember crying my ass off and not understanding why nobody was getting up to, like, you know what I'm saying? Because the narcissistic viewpoint for any human is when we're babies. You know what I mean? Like, help me, I can't eat. Help me, I can't fix myself. Help me, I pooped on my. You know what I'm saying? All that, you need help as a child. But anyways, I can't. Again, I have no ability to tell you how long I cried for, how long I was scared for, so on and so forth. But the story came pretty much to this perspective to where right before sunlight come out, whatever the case is, to where what I thought was a 12-foot monster, when you realize, you know what I'm saying, you start seeing the trees, like, oh my God, this was just a tree, like, or this image was just that, now the monster, you know what I'm saying? All these little things of what I thought was going to kill me, I realized was just human nature. And even from that age, I can't say, obviously, I would not have been able to express it how I'm expressing it today, but I definitely could recall my spirit coming my body down from the perspective, I got you. Like, we're good. Like, it was just all in your mind. Like, you thought those were monsters. No, they wasn't. These were just trees during the darkness of the night and you couldn't see. And from that moment, and from me either being months old, years old, so on and so forth, and just starting learning how to be a comedian from the perspective of like using my ears to get the senses of what is being said, or how do I even say what was said, right? That's the first way I learned language. I didn't learn language from going to school. I learned it from a third world country where like monkey see, monkey do. You know what I mean? So from that sensibility, from utilizing my eyes to see, right? In the same perspective, how I learn in language is the same way how I learn in action, you know what I'm saying? You use your eyes, so the sensibility of your nose to smell. Those were my forefathers, my beginning, my forefather, my birth, my spiritual mom, however you want to call that. Sensibility through intuition is what raised me. You know what I mean? So for me, when it comes to having a metric or method of growth, that's why I'm so big with the learning, earning, and giving, because it's a reminder for me amongst the steps that I need to simplify for myself to have success. Right? Not only just this is a universal success for the world, right? But to have an impactful to have impact in this world is to have impact on yourself first. You know what I mean? So it goes back to me holding myself accountable to say, yeah, people, places, and things, they gonna be able to do different things however it comes, whether it's stupid, dumb, outlandish, whether it's wise, intellectual, you know what I'm saying, knowledgeable. Like, how you learn is all cultivated to you. A lot of us don't think of it that way, but like I just said, stupidity, dumb, or whether uh, don't make no sense, make sense, common sense, all those different variations is where you have the control in life and what you provide yourself, right? Whether it's to listening, whether it's to hearing, listening and hearing, same thing. Whether it's using your ears, I mean, whether it's using your mouth, whether it's using your eyes, using your nose, right? Using time to let you know different things, right? All the different senses still, however, doesn't comply that you're going to learn something in a wiseful manner, right? It could be in a stupid manner, but one thing for sure, two things for certain, whether it's wiseful or stupid, even if I teach you something wiseful, it gives you a glimpse of the opposition of that, which would be the stupidity. If I give you something stupidity, it should give you the opportunity to glance of the different opposition of that, right? So like anything being polarity, you can have a bad experience, right, without going through the good range, but yet still find a way to learn of how it should be good because you had an experience of bad, right? So so many variations of what how again how you can go about learning in this lifetime. Same with earning, right? Naturally, when we think earning, we think of financial gain, right? But earning love, right? Earning self care, self respect, earning dedication, commitment. There's so many different ways you can earn. It doesn't comply to this idealization of getting money. And even with the term money, right? This is something that man subjugated to, I guess, not I guess, I would say to confine earning to have a particular definition rather than earning, again, going through the true understanding of what it means, which is to gain, right? To earn is to gain. It's to gain whether it's knowledge, whether it's to wisdom. It's to gain how to do something, how to treat somebody, how to convey with nature. So many different ways of earning, right? And now, if you understand where earn is a powerful tool because it's the median, right? So think about think about earning. Earning doesn't exist without learning, right? Now, whatever you're able to give off the two different variations, right? You can give what you learn, or you can give what you. Well, actually, in order to give is connected to earn. But in order for you to provide the giving, earn itself has to be something that you learn, right? So one for you to understand that, it should really say you can't use one without the other, right? There's no earning and giving without learning. There's no giving without learning and earning, right? There's no learning without earning and giving. It all naturally connects, right? It's like the flow of how I express artistry, right? Artistry to me is the change and connection, like leaving something behind and having a repertoire of what was the occurrence, right? That's true artistry, right? So what we have in terminology say we have history, right? History is somebody else's interpretation of what occurred, right? But idealistically, history more plagued with perception rather than the idealization of what the reality is, and that's what emphasis artistry connects with. Artistry is saying that I left a banana peel in the middle of the ground, and based on the cause and effect of leaving the banana peel, right? There's so many different things that can be subjugated to that. Whether, God forbid, somebody fell or slipped off the banana peel, right? Or due to time, days later, the banana peel, what? It rottens, right? Or, God forbid, something else. Somebody picks it up. So many different variations, but however, it's the true connection to what you can recall, right? But if I give you a history, if I tell you, hey, I dropped a banana on the floor, and guess what? From my perspective, or what I saw happen was this, that, and the third, right? But that's not the true reality. That's my history. That's my story of what I sense occurred, right? It doesn't comply or convey that my story is actually the true reality to what the existence of that banana is, or how it actually, you know what I'm saying? Like how it actually was unified or complied. You know what I'm saying? So whenever we say things in the sense of like expressing what was and what is, that's history. Artistry is something that we can't change. We can't alternate. It's a cause and effect, right? Hot water being poured into skin. Artistry is going to tell you that the skin is either going to burn out. The person is going to feel pain. It's the cause to the effects, right? We can't say history is 100% correct when his story is just what happened from he or she perspective. And so that's the biggest difference with that. And so I just want to have a moment to break that down with. So, like I was saying, with the learning, earning, and giving, it's a circle or life cycle that gives you the ability to have a leg up on life because you have the power to say, I'm in control to my learning, right? And if you control your learning, how you earn from what you learn is all up to you, right? You then now know, if I apply myself to this or to that, to whatever it is, I'm able to learn from this or that or whatever it is. And then from my earning, however I want to give, whether it's through financial, whether it's through wisdom, right? Knowledge, whether it's through philanthropist, however it come by, right? You have that ability because you earn, and you only have the ability to learn because you earn because you learn. It's very simple. And like I said, this was one of the best mantra I learned through my lifetime because you have to have power over your life. And a lot of time, most of us, we give our powers up daily, whether it's to somebody we like, whether it's to the work that we want to assure keeps us, whether it's the societal views of the do's and don'ts, and rather than going off what we think is right, we accept or praise to say, yeah, whatever society says, right? Whatever the government says, right? So all those different variations in conversation to me is why it's so important to have your 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 most important tool sharpened, which is your mind. Having so much self-respect for your soul, right? Because self-respect for soul means that you have discipline over the body, means that you're willing to acknowledge the mind wrongdoing, or even the thoughts that comes in the mind that may not be necessarily your thoughts, whether it's the entertainment aspect in thoughts, right? Whether it's the sexual aspect of our upbringing through conversation or through thoughts, right? You're If you don't run away from that, it's a lot easier to allow your spirit to say, "Hey, you're tripping," or "Hey, you've been too active on this one particular realm in this lifetime. Let's go ahead and do a little something different. Let's go ahead and alternate." So all that is different views that I've learned from what I earned that allows me to give back. Ooh, that was slick. I like that one. That allowed me to give back in this moment. You did. So much love, peace, prosperity, power. Um, One thing for sure, two things for certain. I don't really do the whole like topics and doing like okay on bulletin this that and third, and I respect anybody to do that, but I do have a beautiful spirit that allows me to express how I express to how I feel, and this was just a moment that I need to give you my viewership to what leg means, right? The acronym, what that means to me: learn, earn, give. And again, the sending the greatest of all gift to anyone in this time, and that's a breath of fresh air. You know what I'm saying? Self love, best love. The only way you can get to the only route to world love. And like I always say, peace, prosperity, power. That's every second to any minute of your hour. It's been another episode of MB9T Podcast Show. And again, thank you again for your time and your understanding. Much love. Gratitude.